This is a reading of Families Found and Familie War, Chapter 1, Family Found, Family War. Quanktumspirit says, "This is an Ernie and Burns story I have just whipped up. Ernie knows nothing about his family, and so does Bernd. How surprised both teens will be if they found out who their families are, and that they are meant to be enemies, not best friends for life and beyond, but instead kill the enemies. Read us how both kids get their families to cool off. It will take a while for me to get the story up and running, but please don't stop reviewing." End of Chapter 1. Chapter 2. A Letter Full of Worries. Quanktumspirit. Here's the first chapter of the Ernie and Bert story. I didn't invent the characters, but I do own a massive collection, so technically, I own them. Ernie and Bert, please review. Ernie's POV. It was early morning in the Sesame Street, and I just got up. I was in a good mood, so I walked downstairs. Bert was still asleep. Who can blame him? It was 6 o'clock in the morning, so I decided to prepare our breakfast. I made porridge for the two of us. I know Bert likes his porridge with honey and banana, so I made mine first with chocolate and caramel. Then I prepared his, in a special and caring way. I threw it all in the mixer and blended together. I heard the water running in the bathroom as I was heating our breakfast, and I knew by that Bert was up and getting himself washed and dressed. Bert's POV. Good morning, readers. Sorry that we haven't told you yet, but my best friends for life, Ernie and I, are married to each other, and today was a special day. It is our first anniversary of our marriage, so we both are going out tonight. First to the fair, then to a fancy restaurant, and later a trip in a hot air ballooner. I have planned it out with him, and we have been saving our money together for about 2 years to go on this trip. We wanted to do it on our wedding day, but we needed to rent an emergency ambulance as loads of our friends got shot by an assassination attempt to kill me and Ernie. Some people in Sesame Street have warmed up that I love Ernie and Ernie loves me. We go out every Valentine's with each other, on the day we first met, on my and Ernie's birthday, and now, our wedding day. As I was finished, I walked downstairs in a happy mood. I can see Ernie has remembered that it was our anniversary. He has decorated the small living room with beautiful yellow and orange balloons, streamers, and a sign saying, "Happy Anniversary, Ernie and Bert." Ernie has made it by hand, and I think it looks beautiful. Ernie was already serving up my favorite breakfast ever. I heard a ring at the door, and I walked over to it to find out who was visiting us. It was Cookie Monster the postman. Strange, normally he only comes if he has to deliver a fax to somebody, if he remembers not to eat it before the person gets to read it. "A fax for you, Bert, and happy anniversary to the both of you," Cookie Monster told us. "Thanks, Cookie Monster." I said, happy that the letter was in one piece. I gave him 4 cookies and he left, stuffing them in his cookie bag. "Who was it, Bert?" Ernie called from the kitchen. "It was Cookie Monster with a fax for me," I told him. I walked into the kitchen and sat on the table next to Ernie. We ate our breakfast, cleaned up, and then sat down on the green couch. "Who has sent you the fax? It must be important," Ernie said, seeing as we rarely ever get a fax at all. "It sure is. It is from my father, Ben Banana." "Why would he send me a fax?" I told Ernie and then asked randomly. "All the way from Turkey. It must be very important." "Go on, read it out," Ernie encouraged me. I opened it up and read only a few lines. They were enough to make me sick, and I started to cry. "Well, what does your father want?" Ernie asked me. I looked up at Ernie with big tears running down my face. I felt a mighty sting in my heart, as if my father was breaking it with a chainsaw. I breathed in and out. "Well," Ernie asked me, now worried. "Ernie, by this letter I can tell you. We will be divorced in less than a month, and I will have to move out," I told him as I screamed in sadness. End of Chapter 2.